Hello everybody, Lawrence Fleming here. I'm going to do kind of a little supplemental video here. My one for the move is already uploading. But I'm going to just kind of talk about getting out and camping. If you don't do this on a regular basis, you've got to get out and check this out. Look at those beautiful clouds behind me. It is warm. Only reason I've still got my shirt on over the top is there's a bit of a breeze, but it's really not bad. It's warm. It's in the 60s at least. And it was raining earlier today, just a little bit. The tail end of the big storm that's hitting the northeast went by. But what I got to see today was encouraging. There was a young couple come in to set up, and they've got a tent. They're just camping at least together like this as the first time out. So everything's new. They got to figure out everything. You can do this. It doesn't matter whether you're young or old. They're young. I don't know the ages, but 20s. Anyway, 18 to 20s, I don't know. I'm not real good with younger ages anymore. I'm almost 70, so there's your range. Find a range. And there's people out here that are, I've seen them out here, and they're in RVs, but they're in their 80s and 90s. So maybe tent camping is a little bit too much if you're that old, but an RV will work. Just get out. And if you got the money and you got retirement money that you can get out and enjoy it, don't spend all of it because you don't know how much you're going to need. I'm not telling you to do that. But add this to your possibilities of things you can do. It doesn't cost anything to tent camp. And most campsites have yurts, which is just a fancy tent, but it's hard walls with a canvas top. Adirondacks, which is basically a small cabin. No amenities, just wood, some place to get you out of the weather. And they have cabins. They're a little bit more. It'd be a good place for a family gathering for a weekend. And you got all the comforts of home. It's kitchens and everything. So get out and try this. You don't have any excuses. It's beautiful weather out here. Yeah, we may still get a little bit of rain, but like I said, the big storm's north. And these are just little tentacles that are dropping down. It rained for 5 minutes earlier, then it stopped. I'm going to come down here, and tomorrow I'm moving. You have nothing to do with my scheduling. I just try to get my videos out on any day but moving day. So my video 4 that I would normally do tomorrow, I've already done. And that will be out the day after I've moved. And I'll put this in someplace at time as a supplemental. I'm going to go down and look at the water and see how the water level looks. Okay. There's the water level. I don't know if I'd want to drive down there and put a boat in the water or not. There's mud at the bottom. You might get stuck in that mud. You'd have to have four-wheel drive, I think, to get out of that. I am going to go sit on my swing. These places have everything you need. It just depends on how much you want to spend. For me, this campsite in a tent, for tent-only camping, with electricity and water, cost me $18 a night. You can't find a Motel 6 for that. I'm going to sit in my swing and enjoy the swing, looking at the water. You don't hear them as much anymore. There's plenty of other birds out, bigger ones now, but the songbirds are out this morning. The kinds that would be out in springtime. They think it's spring. It's 4 or 5 days away, but I think we've got a 37-degree temperature on the long range. We're not done with cold yet, but we're almost. It's going to be mostly hot, occasional cold, as opposed to mostly cold, occasionally hot, or occasionally warm. This is still the South. I'm really not dissatisfied with living down here in the South. I just had wanted to go out and visit some familiar sites when I wanted to go out west. Still do my videos, and it's still the wilderness. But I guess God wants me to stay put. Things are getting ready to happen. The revivals, that's a good indication. The rumors of wars are continuing to escalate. The talk's getting bigger. Pretty soon someone's going to have to do something to prove they're not all talk. Another explosion at a factory type thing. Chemical spill or something in a river. They're doing everything they can. This is when you have 20 events in a year, when you only normally get one every 5 years. Something's up. This isn't coincidental. This isn't by accident. Someone's doing this. They've opened our border up. Now, I don't think that these are bad guys that are sneaking in doing all this stuff, because it's too organized. I think they've got their brown shirts out there doing this. If you remember World War II, the brown shirts were the people that went out and recruited and did some of the local damage and stuff to sabotage, things like that. The tools of Hitler. They've got a team out there of experts that know what they're doing and are doing all this. 12 train derailments. When was the last year you heard of any? And they're getting ready. They keep throwing up little hints that they've got, I think Cambodia's got some kind of a disease. Don't put this off. Get out here and enjoy the outdoors. We're still in winter because the trees, some of the trees are starting to bloom. They're starting to get leaves on. Okay, I'm back. I filled up my memory. Forgot to delete the files. Everything's online. I'm still having occasional problems with YouTube not giving me comments, and they've changed the way it works. I now get a little bell that they put a little red dot on that tells me I've got comments. It doesn't tell me how many. I guess they were having trouble with that because I wasn't getting notified. I'd have to go in individually and search through the comments periodically because some of yours I'd miss. I try to respond to every comment. Sometimes I don't, comment back. A check mark means I've read it. It's okay. A heart means I've taken something that you said personally and I appreciate it, so I can put a heart up. After that, if I comment, it's because I feel the need to comment. Answering a question, I try to answer all questions. But YouTube eventually is going to get rid of me because they're getting rid of everybody else. They've kicked a couple of people off of YouTube that I used to follow. Telegram is going to be my main base, but the videos are going to go up on Rumble. Rumble's starting to have problems copying files from YouTube. So what I may have to do is pick a couple of days where I have either a shortened video or no video where I upload them to Rumble. I'm going to have to do, maybe this is a good test. This is a smaller film, it's not going to be very long. If I put it up on Rumble, I'm going to see if I can put the link in YouTube, in the comments section. If I can put a link up there to Rumble, then I'll start posting on Rumble first and then link over on YouTube. So I can start getting everything slowly off of YouTube. I make a little bit of money on YouTube, not a whole lot. And every time they do an update, it changes the filters on how the commercials work, and then you complain about them, and then I gotta go back in and reset them, because they reset them back to their defaults, which is to show all commercials. I don't do that. I cut out a couple. It makes it easier to deal with. But I do make about $100 a month off of YouTube. That pays for my internet provider. I'd like to be able to do that, but I need everybody to go over to Rumble and to Telegram. Now, right now, they're kind of mirroring what I do on YouTube, so you don't have to watch the videos. You can open the video up in Rumble and just hit the little Rumble button. You don't have to watch it. I got to get so many Rumbles so I can get upgraded to the next level. On Telegram, I have to have so many subscribers to open up features. They just let me open up icons, so you can, or emotes, so you can put emotes in. But I can't do a lot of other things until I can get that. And Telegram is still limited in file size. I can't put a big 3 to 4 gig file up there. I can put maybe a 10 to 15, maybe 100 megabyte file. I don't know. It's not very big. It would be the equivalence of the shorts on YouTube, is all I can do on Telegram. But I will link Rumble files over there so you can just have one place to go. One's equivalent of Twitter and one's the equivalent of YouTube. And there's other competition, but I don't want to get scattered. It used to be, when things were fine on social media, there were programs like Hootsuite you could log into, I could log into, tell it to take one of my files and send it to all the other social media sites. I can't do that right now because they're not all playing. I can do it between the ones that I don't want to deal with, but I can't do it to the new ones yet. Maybe eventually, but I think they're owned by one of the big guys, and so they probably don't want competition. Okay, this is just a little short filler. I'll probably post it in the evening. So get out, enjoy nature. Please, you will thank me for it. It's all going away. We don't know what the new world's going to look like. Is it going to look like this? Are trees going to grow upside down with the point down? Is everything going to be purple? We don't know. God's going to create it. We're going to like it no matter what he does. But are we going to have a world similar to this? Are we going to go back to where it was at the Garden of Eden? I've done my history lesson on Genesis, of how things got created. It doesn't match most religious people, but it does bring science and religion together in agreement. There's enough clues to support my hypothesis on how the earth was created. God he's not a magician. He could be, but he's not. He's not Harry Potter, where he doesn't wave a magic wand. He doesn't wait until the moment that something's needed and wave his wand and create it. He is even more God than that. He created the world in such a way that he knew that on this date, something was going to happen. Something that involves you, and he made you right there when it happened. That's a God, not a human with a magic wand. So everything that's coming, the earthquakes that are coming, all this other stuff, they're all perfectly timed in the way the world was put together, using the physics of the universe, the laws of physics, the laws of the universe. He always follows laws, especially his own. Okay, I don't want to talk any longer because then this would be too big. I think it's about 10 minutes or less. So just get out, enjoy life. There's not a whole lot of time. You're going to meet good people while you're out here too, for the most part. That's who I meet. Some I get to talk about God, some I don't. Some will listen and don't participate. Everyone's different. Just do the best you can. Our job is just to tell everybody how good God is. That should be an easy job. Okay, we'll talk to you later. God bless.